Hello, you. My name's Jonti.
And I'm Brandon, also known as B Squared, and this is This Week in Ink.
Each week we'll be wading through the Inklands to bring you the news and the views on all things Lorcana.
Coming up, we have lots to talk about because it's Set 3 release week.
Woo! We'll be discussing the latest topics and taking opinions from the live chat. Hello, live chat!
Yeah, we have tons to talk about within the past week. All of the cards for Into the Inklands have been revealed officially, so that's super exciting.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. We're gonna go through all of the stuff we haven't seen since last week. As always, that's how we always do it during reveal season. We just cover everything since the last show, and then we'll have a look at how these cards are starting to affect the early look at the meta. I know cards aren't in people's hands yet, but obviously people, proxy them and play with them in various ways and sort of try stuff out, and even just deck build and start to theorize about how stuff works as well. So we're going to be talking about that, whether or not any of the emerging stuff is going to stick. Or whether we think any of the emerging stuff is going to stick. But yeah, we've got a lot to do. And we'll take a look at a bit of a market watch in a little bit as well. Should we just drive straight into the cards?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We've got a lot to go through.
We have got quite a lot to go through. And this set of reveals here, much like the reveal season in general, kind of starts to taper off towards the end because you just get those 20 or so cards for some reason that don't get released. And I suppose it gets people to look at the app, I guess, But yeah, anyway, so we'll crack on. First of all, we have a forecasted uninkable 3/5 for 1 lore Genie supportive friend, a Storyborn ally in Amethyst with the ability 3 wishes. Whenever this character quests, you may shuffle this card into your deck to draw 3 cards. Super rare, that is okay. I think it goes very nicely into a Jafar deck, and that's probably it.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think drawing 3 cards is good. I think it's a good character to have on a super rare card. The art's super fun.
Oh, yeah, that's great. He's counting 3, look.
He is counting 3.
For the cards you're going to draw.
This might be my favorite Genie art, to be honest.
Yeah, no, the itty bitty, the cosmic, the one where he's all stuck. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. That's great. But this is still great. I mean, all the Genie art has been really good, I think, actually, consistently. Yeah. So I think we've already seen Lamp, right? Or have we not? Is Lamp coming up today?
I have no idea. I put it all on the dock, and I don't know.
All rolled into one.
It's all blended together.
Maybe we're looking at Lamp. We're definitely looking at Jafar in a moment. I love Lamp. I love Lamp. And obviously this goes really great with the Lamp. So yeah. I think if this the uninkability is the thing that only really puts me off with this, and I don't know. I mean, I understand why some cards are uninkable, but I don't know. This could quest for 2, couldn't it? Would that be too much?
No, that's broken.
Is it? Is it really broken?
This is a win quest ability. Win quest, draw 3 cards and shuffle me into your deck. Yeah. Plus gaining 2 lore.
Yeah. Quest for 2.
I think that's too much. This doesn't need good cards.
No, and that's the only reason I don't rank this higher. That's the only reason I don't rank this higher is because it is card draw in a set that already in a color that already has so much card draw. Yeah. I don't know whether a one-shot, uninkable is going to get you. Yes, I suppose it's better than... Actually, well, I suppose it isn't better than Rabbit, because Rabbit gets you 2 no matter what. This gets you 3 if it survives the turn.
Yeah, this is probably better than Rabbit for consistency, or one of the biggest draws for Rabbit is it's something you can just play on the board with no repercussions, because... Yeah. If your opponent clears your board, you draw a card. Whereas if you play this and Genie gets banished, you lose out on everything. Yeah.
So yes, if this survives, you get 1 more card draw off it. Whereas the Rabbit, you get if you have a Rabbit in your hand and you play it, you can't not get 2 off it unless you win the game, right? Because no matter how it leaves the board, you get that second draw. It's got Jonti's 2 favorite words on it. You may. I mean, yeah. Because you could deck yourself. We like you, man, on cards.
That's what I just thought. I read the text, and so the May is you may shuffle this, and then you have to draw 3. Like you can't May shuffle this and then not draw 3.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But interestingly, if for some reason you don't want card draw, maybe you're playing this in Amethyst Steel and the only other card in your hand is a whole new world that you're about to play next turn. You might as well just let this quest and leave it there. So then, I like a May ability. You need it for Lamp, bro. Franz, you behind, buddy? We know it's Lamp. We love Lamp. We love Lamp. We stand Lamp here this week.
Yeah, I love Breeze's comment. Jonti's a mom.
Jonti's a mom. Lamp. I love the Lamp. That's what I'll tell you. I'm sticking. It's where I'm putting my flag in this set.
Okay, that's all I have to say on that one.
Yeah. I moved on. Go ahead.
Okay, next is an uninkable 6-cost legendary card in Ruby, Hydra Deadly Serpent, with 6 strength, 5 willpower, 2 lore. Storyborn with the ability Watch the Teeth. Whenever this character is dealt damage, deal that much damage to chosen opposing character. I was really excited to see this card just for the fact that it's more self-damage synergy cards happening.
Yeah.
And I think the ability is really strong. Like, just when this takes damage, deal it back however you want. But of course, it is a card that doesn't really do anything when it's played. You kind of have to play it and then make certain things happen in order to get any use out of it. But it's kind of like anti steel in a way. You know, when you play this on board, if steel is trying to run any wide board or wide damage, like Grab Your Sword, Tinkerbell, you know, they get punished a little bit for it. It makes a lot of sense that it's a legendary card, in my opinion. I feel like it's worthy of being legendary. But if I had to rate the card, it's probably sees niche play, if I had to guess.
I think this is one of the weaker legendaries of the set, honestly. For now, just because we don't have the real payoff and support for this self-damage stuff. Like, this is pretty good. You know, and also this, you know, this goes round a turn. Most likely, this is one of those cards that, in theory, says this kills 2 things. But what it actually says is play this card. Opponent doesn't quest next turn. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a few that have done that now. Where when you first read it, you're like, oh my god, this is going to start swinging into everything. But actually, what happens is your opponent just takes a turn off and finds a way to deal with this before they carry on questing. So, maybe that's fine.
I mean, to delay a little bit, that's not a terrible thing. Because even I guess I sort of just realized this. Even if your opponent like drops a Maui or something and then does 6 damage, you just get to, not only does it kill the Maui, but you deal 6 damage to something else.
To something else. Yeah, like it's good. It's almost maybe it's more defensive than it is offensive. Maybe it just quests and says, "Go ahead, kill me." Yeah.
And either eats a removal action or does damage.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But interesting card anyway. More than happy to pull the first one. I don't know whether I necessarily want to play a set of these right now. But these might be the sort of ones that you want to pick up while they're cheap.
Yeah,
because
that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, something else will break this a little later on.
Because I think right now the only card that we have that damages your own thing for a benefit is Teeth and Ambitions. So we have so many cards that think like it matters when they get damaged, and so I just have to think that there's more coming. Yeah,
because your deck wants to run this and the Donald Duck and that Prince Eric, and but you've still only got 4 copies of Teeth in your deck.
Yeah, you can only do that so many times.
Yeah. This boy is not on my buy list. I don't know. This isn't on my day one buy list. This is on my. Oh look, these are $5 now.
Yeah, exactly. This is my buy them when they're cheap and just hold them.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, next up, a one-costed inkable action song in Emerald. I Will Find My Way. Chosen character of yours gets +2 this turn. They may move to a location for free. Yeah. This isn't good. I don't think. Even in this isn't good. I think locations, so far at least, I think locations is a Ruby Steel thing. I know I always said Ruby Emerald. I think I'm wrong. I think it's Ruby Steel, and it's sort of like pirates with a location sub theme. Honestly, if there's anything there,
I'm leaning in that direction too. I think this card would be much more playable if the 2 strength did not have to go on the character you were moving to a location.
Oh, that's a nice idea, yeah.
Because I was looking at this and I was thinking about, Peter Pan, when moving to a location, gain the lore at location. There's some pretty good locations that have 2 lore on it. Maybe you can make something work like that. But the strength is just useless because a lot of the cards you want to move to a location, unless you're moving to like an amber one, possibly. The Pride Lands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's many other locations where you're challenging, and then like maybe Jolly Roger also, but I don't know.
Underestimating Bayou Sheriff Beast? Not at all, but you don't need this card to do that.
No.
Because it costs 1 and moves to the location. Bayou costs 1 to move to it. You don't need this, and you don't need the strength on that combo either. So no, I'm not underestimating Bayou Sheriff Beast. It is my I'll prove it. I have got my play set of beasts right here. There's 2 of them.
We were literally just talking before the show started about
the 3rd one. I've got a 4th one in my binder. I'm all in for Bayou Sheriff Beast, baby. But this card is not needed in that deck.
No, and that's another thing about these move to location for free cards. It costs 1 to play, and unless you're moving to a location that costs more than 1 to move to, or you're getting to do something like Voyage where you can move multiple characters to a location, you're spending just as much ink as you would.
I mean, it's singable, but it's singable, so it could be free. But
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think this finds a home anywhere at the moment.
No, not currently.
All right. Oh, no photos, no more pictures, please.
Trying to get this to focus without doing the.
Oh, there you go. All right, you get to read a fun one out.
All right. Next, we have an inkable 7-cost legendary card in Amethyst, Jafar, Striking Illusionist. He has 4 strength, 5 willpower, 1 lore, Floodborn Villain, Sorcerer, Shift for 5, Evasive, and the ability Power Beyond Measure. During your turn, while this character is exerted, whenever you draw a card, gain 1 lore. This card is so bad. No, I'm just
trash. Trash card. Next. Why is this card evasive? Because it needs to be exerted for it to be on, and it's Amethyst.
Yeah. Amethyst was too bad. They needed some good cards.
I mean, the problem with a weekly show that's always on a Monday night is I'm not sure there's much we can say about this card that hasn't been said this week many, many times everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
this is just really good.
So here's what I'll say. There's, of course, the Jafar Whole New World combo that everybody's been talking about, making videos about. So I don't think there's much reason to go over that. Yeah. It's a good combo. I think there's actually lots of counter for it, so I don't expect the deck to be like unbeatable or oppressive like Ruby Amethyst was before. But I do think this is just a good card in an Amethyst deck that has a bunch of draw cards as well. Like it doesn't have to be Amethyst Steel, Whole New World stuff.
And that's the thing. Yes, obviously the Whole New World thing is great. I've seen clips of people pulling it off online, and it's super satisfying. But yes, there are quite a few answers to it. Even just getting rid of the Jafar in the first place, or the shift target Jafar at least.
Yeah.
Or there's quite a few things in there that will go into the hand and get rid of the Whole New World. So, and that's the thing with combo, is because if it happens, it's very strong. And in a game like this where there's no off-turn interaction, if it's happening, it's happening. So the answer is that it has to be a glass cannon. It has to be difficult to get there. It has to be able to be broken down before it gets to that point. Else, it's just that's the end of the game, right? Like so. Yeah, so I think you probably do play this. I think this has made Amethyst Steel more viable in general.
Yeah.
But I do think that you need to just realize that this plus a lot of other Amethyst cards is just good.
Yeah. I mean, Amethyst has the best cards in the game, right? Like, they have cards that unconditionally draw you more cards. They have cards that gain lore unconditionally, or like in very, very easy ways. Yeah. And now we have a card that gains lore from drawing cards. So, like, yeah, it's just good.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think it's the best art in the game as well. I actually think this is better than it's Enchanted.
I agree with you on that. That might be a hot one, but I actually like this art more than the Enchanted art.
Yeah, but it's all subjective, right?
Right.
I'm sure the Enchanted looks great just because it's full art and foiled, and But yeah, I think this is where I want all Lorcana's cards to be, like in the level, Like,
for art
yeah. No. Ability-wise, no. The game would be insane. The game would be Yu-Gi-Oh! If every card was like this.
Yeah.
No, the art. I think, yes, okay, sometimes you are just putting Piglet on a card, then it's Piglet, Mm-hmm. And only till you get to these ones where the abilities really sort of shape what they're doing. But, this is the kind of level of detail and thought that I really want the art to be, and I think we'll see it more now as well, because we're at a point now, I think, where the artists are actually seeing the product.
Yeah,
you gotta remember, for those first two sets, we've heard clips where some of them are like, I thought I was doing a jigsaw, like, like I don't know what I was doing. Now they know, and they can start looking at other card games, and they can start looking at some of the stuff that the community is really attaching itself to. I feel like we're gonna see more of this sort of level of ability. It's incredible. This guy's going to be expensive day one. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed seeing Nicholas Cole. He tweeted out that set 3 is like the first time that we as the consumers are going to start to see art that the artists were able to work on sort of after they saw the game and like its release and how big it really started to become. And at that point, all of the artists were like, okay, we have to step up our game.
I think they all
and
sat up.
You can tell. Yeah, like you can tell. We'll get 100%. To the Enchanted in a little bit, but like so much of the art is amazing, including this.
Yeah. It's just a really good card. I love it and I hate it.
I'm happy to see more combo stuff in Lorcana.
Me too.
I felt like
me too.
There was a lack of it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm more than happy. I enjoy playing the decks. We were just talking about this before we started recording today. I enjoy combo decks. There's no better saying for me in a trading card game than okay, I'm going to demonstrate the loop. If I can say that, I feel so happy. So yeah, we haven't got it here yet. Like, this is just, it's almost like a one-turn kill. I mean, it probably is a one-turn kill. Let's be honest. I've seen 2 of these out and a whole new world played. I've seen 1 of these out singing a whole new world, and a second one and a second whole new world just hard casted. Like,
I think the gross. People have spent so much time on the Jafar whole new world thing, and we'll talk about this in a minute. But I actually think the Beast Relentless Bayou Sheriff thing is more one-turn win. Consistent than this deck is, just because it's not countered by the Bare Necessities or the Ursulas or anything like that, because
it kind of is countered by the Ursulas, because they can get rid of the Bare Necessities can get rid of the Bayou. Yeah. Ursula can't so much, but yeah, the Bare Necessities can get rid of the Bayou. But like, again, all of these combo pieces need a point where they can be broke.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's the game's just not in a great spot. So yeah, I'm happy for that.
I agree.
All right. Next up then, we got a series of 5 locations shared on the Gamer. Feels like forever ago, but it was just last Tuesday, I think. The first one is a 3-costed inkable location in Emerald with a move cost of 3, willpower of 7, and 1 passive lore. Cusco's Palace, home of the Emperor. City walls whenever a character is challenged and banished whilst here. banished the challenging character. So this basically gives Cuzco's no touchy or Cheshire Cat's ability to anything that's sat here. I know your Breezy is here, and I apologize, my friend, but I don't think this is a good card.
Yeah, I hate to say it as well, but I also don't think it's a good card. It's very expensive and runs into the same problem that Emerald has in an ability that requires your opponent to challenge into a character, for it to happen. Like, there's so many ways to get around that, and one of the reasons that Cusco was played when Cusco was played is because of Ward and this ability, not so much the ability itself. And it's like, you can put as many characters here as you want, but a Dragonfire or a Smash or any removal, can get rid of it and not. I don't know.
Your Breezy can't hear us, luckily, which is good. A Whole New World has needed to be banned since it came out. Absolutely not. I completely disagree.
Even with the Jafar
it's coming,
thing,
though.
yeah, I think with the Jafar, Jafar is the first card that I've seen paired with the Whole New World that I'm like, okay, maybe we'll reach that point with a Whole New World. Before now, I don't think it's been a problem. And to be fair, I don't know that it will be a problem. I haven't done enough testing and enough practicing to really see. I don't think it will, because if the meta ever gets to a point where Jafar is being played a lot, the OTK combo deck, there's so many outs to that deck that you can play in tech towards. I think the biggest issue will be if we run into something like we have the past two sets where you try really, really hard to counter, say, Jafar OTK, and then you have to give up all of your all of your win percentage to all the other decks that are being played. So it ends up not leveling out too well. But I don't know. I think it's one of those wait and see things before I'll make a statement on whether or not I think A Whole New World needs to be banned immediately.
I look forward to your statement. I don't think it's that much of a problem. I know Mr. Chip says that I'm entitled to my opinion, and I am, and I have the microphone, so I'm right. All right.
I don't know about that. Jonti is sometimes right.
Sometimes right.
Not always right.
Jonti is sometimes correct. Was the was the quote from Lorcana. All right. Next up, then, this is the Amber one. Go ahead.
Next, we have an unequal 2-cost rare location in Amber with a move cost of 2, willpower of 7, and 1 lure with Pride Lands, Pride Rock. It has the ability, we are all connected. Characters get +2 willpower while here. And the Lion Home, if you have a Prince or King character here, you pay 1 ink less to play characters. I think this is a really interesting and cool card. It's the first card we've seen that gives anything extra willpower, which is pretty cool. I think important, like extra willpower. The willpower thresholds are so important in this game, like the difference between 3 willpower and 4 or 2 and 3. So I think that's really strong, way more strong than something like extra strength.
100% take willpower over strength. Yeah.
And there's a lot of princes and kings that this hits even pretty early. Like, I was looking in an Amber Steel list, and there's quite a few. It doesn't curve out too well, especially in deck, like in the deck that I was trying to build with it. But something like a Prince Eric moved here is a 3/5 when challenging.
That 3/5 lantern.
Yeah, 3/5 lantern. It's kind of crazy. And then, of course, you have Simba that can move here, becoming a 2/4 with bodyguard. And of course, discounting characters. So
2/5 bodyguard.
Yeah, 2/5 bodyguard. You're right. So that's good. It's like a Donald Duck, but with lanterns.
Just ability.
Yeah. So I think this one's cool. I don't know if it's good enough to see play, because 2 costs to move is a little bit expensive. if this had 2 lore on it, I think it would be like really playable, and it wouldn't be as of a question for me. But yeah, it's difficult to slot in primarily because of both the cost of the card and the move cost.
So far I've seen this played like way off curve. I've seen this come down quite a bit later and just help push some of those weaker cards up into the mid game, and I think maybe that's where its line is. I don't necessarily know this is coming down on 2. I think this is maybe coming down on 4 or 5 and making your 1, 2, and 3 drops be able to cope with the 4, 5, and 6 drops of your opponent. I don't know if that makes sense. I tell you where this is not good, when playing against that relentless combo, because it just gives you more to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't hate this one. I'm interested to see where this ends up. I think it is a bodyguard deck that likes this. I think, yeah. Next up, forecasted uninkable location in Ruby with a 3 move cost, 8 willpower, 2 passive lore, RLS Legacy, Solar Galleon. This is our ship. Characters gain evasive whilst here, and heave together now. If you have a character here, you can pay 2 less to move a character of yours here. I think this is pretty good if it's cast off of Jim Hawkins for free, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think this is a very good location, specifically, probably the best location in that Jim Hawkins deck.
It's this or the Amethyst Queen's Mirror. I think is another good hit off him. But yeah, this is the one you want to be hitting, right?
Yeah. Just being able to play this for free, and then since Jim Hawkins can move there for free, automatically changing the move cost to 1 is just huge. And we've seen how strong evasive can be when cards like Mini can utilize it, or you can put you can give cards evasive that maybe shouldn't have evasive to quest for lots of lore and be difficult to deal with. And just so much willpower on this thing. Like, not only, like, if you can't hit the stuff with evasive, you're having to hit this location, and this location's not going to go down easy. So yeah, I don't hate it.
No, I don't. I saw it's just pricey. But if you can get it online, I think this is really good. I saw a really great line with this, and is it Maui's place that gives you resist? So I saw a really great line that was all pirates, and it was this, and the Maui's place was out, and then also the map of Treasure Planet. So it made stuff free to come here, because the map of Treasure Planet is 1 less. And they were just able to move pirates out to Maui to challenge, and then back into this to be evasive, and then go. And it was a lot of pieces to get there, you know, like but it was really quite satisfying to look. And it's every time I see something like that, it makes me think, oh, maybe locations aren't crap.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there is something here, and maybe it's just finding the pace of them. I don't know.
Yeah. The more that I look at locations, the more I digest the new set, the more things like that I start to see, and I'm like, oh wait, that's actually not half bad. Like, especially if people aren't really playing against locations, you know, like if people just aren't toying with them or not teching.
That's it. Yeah, you know? Even with all of this really quite cool stuff that's emerging, I'm still not seeing people play any kind of location removal. The only one I've been seeing is that Along Came Zeus, which is
that's what I was gonna say.
Is that 5 damage to character or location. Even that doesn't get rid of this. You know, you still have 2 cards into this,
right?
Yeah. So I dig it. Next up,
we have an inkable 1-cost steel location called the Bayou Mysterious Swamp. It has a move cost of 1 with 3 willpower and 1 lore, and the ability Show Me the Way. Whenever a character quests while here, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. Regarding this just as a location in general, I actually don't think it's the worst. I like to think, like, this is a location you assume is banished the very next turn, because it doesn't have very much willpower. But the idea of paying 1 to just dig further into your deck. Try to find pieces for as many characters as you can move to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have to quest with them, but that doesn't seem too bad. And then, of course, there's the Beast Relentless, Sheriff of Nottingham, the Bayou.
I get a smile on my face whenever it's mentioned. It's so much fun. That frog there, the frog in the art is just like, I'm out of here, man. I saw that beast come down the turn before. I'm off. Yeah, I think this is okay. Like you say, probably just dies to something, but then that thing is then exerted or whatever, or it's left alone. The thing that questing here. I know Elliot says Ruby Amethyst runs a lot of location removal, Fox, Maui, and I think that's going to be the issue with these lower willpower ones. But Fox and Maui ain't getting rid of that, right? They ain't getting rid of that 8 but on the legacy.
No,
so
that's the thing. Some of the better locations have more willpower than Maui can dish out, which is like really the main thing.
The next one we look at has exactly that, a forecasted Inkable. Inkable? Why is this Inkable?
I don't know. Don't get me started.
One move cost because they're not going to print 0. The Queen's Castle Mirror Chamber, 7 willpower, more than enough to cover from Maui. 2 lore because it's Amethyst.
Why not?
Using the mirror at the start of your turn for each character you have here, you may draw a card. Now I'll just note before we go on. That if we go back to Pride Lands, this doesn't say for each prince or king character here you pay 1 less. It's just a prince or a king. It doesn't stack. Queen's Castle stacks like a beast. You get as much stuff here as you like. You can draw as much as you like.
Any character, as many characters, stack them on, draw all the cards. And gain 2 lore.
Yeah, 2 lore as well.
And it's inkable, and it doesn't die to Maui, or any of the steel ping removal for locations. Why not? And it's a rare, super easy to get a hold of. What are they thinking, man?
Actually, it's not more than enough. It's exactly enough. What did I say was more than enough?
I don't know.
Maybe all of it. It's just gross. But then I haven't really seen it see much play. I haven't seen it get played the last couple of days of stuff I've seen. So I don't know.
I've seen so many on the Jafar thing, and I don't think this is a card. Like, you can probably run a couple in a Jafar deck, but it's anti-synergistic with it because Jafar readies before this draws cards.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not really benefiting off that, but
you've just drawn cards.
Yeah. It's like my argument for locations not being great always sort of stemmed from the fact of it dies to Maui or it dies to a fox or whatever. And like this on turn 4 almost it either guarantees you 2 lore the next turn, or it forces your opponent to like Maui and then swing another character into this, or play Along Came Zeus and then swing another character into this. Like, it takes a lot of resources on curve just to get rid of this card. And if you don't get rid of this card on curve, then you can benefit from it greatly. The next turn.
Yeah, and I mean, even a little off curve would be nice. I could see this getting played on 6, putting this down and moving 2 things to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good on any turn. Yeah, really.
Yeah. No one's playing RA on Lab, and that's maybe it. It's just not seeing much testing at the minute, but I think it does go into it. 4 is a difficult slot in that deck, though. But like I say, I could actually see this playing a little off curve. I know that's going to be making Francis' eye twitch, but I can see playing this a little off curve and moving your goat and your rabbit over to it. Yeah.
Yeah. God, Amethyst makes me sick.
You still think it's the deck? I hope not, but I don't know.
I don't think it's going away.
Yeah. No. I don't want it to go away. I think a straight up control deck needs to be there.
But I think it's still in the running for the strongest deck. I think that there are other decks. I mean, obviously we got cards to help fight against the deck, right? With Bare Necessities and Ursula, things like that. But It also got some pretty good new cards just in general to play with, like Prince Eric.
Yeah.
And
I think the other thing that really is going to affect its playability is if the speed of the game picks up, and I feel like that's the other thing that might happen. There's a lot of stuff there that's like many people aren't really looking at the like true aggro-y stuff right now.
Yeah.
But I do think that's the other issue is there are going to be decks that just win before Ruby Amethyst is online.
Yeah.
So that's interesting as well. All right, that's the locations there. We move on to some more stuff.
Next, we have an inkable 6-cost character, super rare in Amethyst, Alice T. Alchemist. She has 4 strength, 4 willpower, 2 lore. She's a dreamborn hero sorcerer with the ability Curiouser and Curiouser. Exert Alice, and then you can exert chosen opposing character and all other opposing characters with the same name. This is an interesting card. Like, I mean, I guess it's pretty good into puppies or into brooms.
Is it?
Or
it exerts them all. It exerts them all.
Yeah,
then what?
It exerts them all. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the thing.
You can banish all the puppies and banish all the brooms. I don't know.
How?
Well, if they're exerted, you challenge them.
So, but this card doesn't do that. Like you need this card and a good couple of other things on the board as well.
Here's what you do. On turn 6, you play Alice T. Alchemist.
Yeah. On
turn 7, you exert her to exert all the other characters. And then you play Be Prepared.
Oh, okay. I don't know. This to me needed to say they don't ready at the start of their turn.
Yeah, that would be a much better card.
And that personally would be deserving of a super rare slot. And like I don't think would be too broken. Because chances are you're hitting 2 things off this. You may be hitting 2 Jafars.
Like even in decks that want to run a lot of cards with the same name, it's not. I don't think every card in your deck is the same name. There's probably a good maybe 30 cards or so that share the same name in those decks, but there's probably 2 or 3 different character names that share that spotlight in those decks. And they're not all going to be on board at the same time.
A lot of people saying this is a sideboard. The arguments against a sideboard in this game is this is inkable, so it is sideboarded. Because if you don't need this, you ink it. Now, I don't love that as an argument, but that's what they've said, basically, is we don't need sideboards. You can ink stuff you don't need. Is this a multiplayer card?
I don't think so.
The thing is, I understand what the card does. I just don't think it's very good. Like, I've exerted 15 puppies. So what? You say pass and they're all ready again. Like
now you play Hydra or something, and you challenge all of them. And
so do we? Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of goes alongside something like. Or like the Scar that that can pump into it, but even then you're only getting like 2 or 3 things.
It's just it's not.
Do we see a cheaper Be Prepared that only banishes exerted things?
That's an interesting thought.
Like and then maybe this becomes a little bit more interesting, but yeah.
I still don't think. Well, no, that would be pretty good because you just leave all your characters ready, and then you banish all the exerted stuff, and then Alice gets banished, of course, but that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. A cheap prepared. A be cheap prepared. That's great. Ooh, this one's bigger. Okay. 7 costed, inkable, 4/8 for 2. Grandma Tala, Spirit of the Ocean, Floodborn Mentor, shift 5. Whenever a card is put into your ink while gain 1 lore. I'm taking this as a win for. I totally called a Grandma Tala Floodborn. I did think it would be the Manta Ray one, but I was like, this is coming definitely. I feel like this is good. I'm surprised I've not seen anyone messing around with this. Do you not like it? Is it too expensive?
Yeah, like my biggest issue with this card is the earliest you can get it out is turn 5, maybe slightly earlier with like some ramp stuff or with Amber doing that kind of thing. But ramp is so important early, and then less and less important the more that the game goes on. That getting this out, in the mid game, let's say, I think is too late for you to then really try to focus on ramping a bunch of cards. And then if you are waiting till the end game, like, I don't know, maybe this is a card that you like play in the end game, and then you can benefit off of all of your one jump aheads that like aren't doing anything.
Yeah, I reckon you could quite easily get this out on 4.
I mean, sure. I'll concede you can.
Yeah.
You can get it out on 4, but then what? Like, you get it out on 4, you've put all of you put your entire hand into the inkwell, you've gained 4 lore, congratulations, and now you don't have a hand.
I guess. Yeah, so I guess this again would have to be played with Amethyst for the card draw. Who knew?
No, or I actually think if you play this, it has to be played with Steel, because, I mean, we've already seen like a Sapphire Steel variant of a deck that's done really well, but it leaning so much into expensive characters late game, it's got to be a control deck, and you have to be able to refill your hand, so you need a card like Whole New World that you can play after you've put all your cards into the inkwell and gained a bunch of other cards. I'll say this. I don't think this card is bad per se. I think it's a step in the right direction for Sapphire. I love ramp personally. I just don't play it in Sapphire because it's not great for the reasons that ramp has been good in so many other card games. But I like that your win condition is being tied to you ramping. Like, that's what it really needs.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. I just don't know that it's enough to like.
A few people saying Mrs. Judson. I suppose she's on 4, right? So she's on 4. This goes down on shift. That's your first one, and then just other sort of Floodborns. A lot of good sort of.
Then you sing "Friend Like Me," or
I definitely think you need to look at the ramp from the top of the deck. Like, I don't think extra hand ramp is the game here. I think it's got to be Detective Mickey 1 jumps. I don't think like.
Well, that's another thing.
Fishbone Quill is necessarily the play here. I don't know.
A lot of those ramp cards are so low strength as well. Like, if you're playing too far into that, you're gonna have a difficult time controlling the board.
So that's where the Steel comes in, I suppose.
And
then you get your other Steel stuff, Tragic Beast, Tinkerbell. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I just want it to work because I just like the fact that it's finally seems to be giving something for ramp to do. I just feel like ramp is like a stairway to nowhere at the minute. And
exactly. That's what I like so much about this card. Is exactly that. It ties ramp to your win condition. Like in so many other games where there's not lore, it's like strength and willpower, and the name of the game is how fast can you beat your opponent down to 0 with your character's strength. You ramp up to really big characters that have really big strength, and then you smack those characters in your opponent's face. Like, that makes sense why ramp would be good. In this game, you ramp up to expensive characters with lots of stats who sit there and have just as much lore as your one cost.
And that's been my big issue with like people have really been pushing Chernobog on me this week. Like, I've had people come into the store and be like, I watched your video, I disagree. They're like, Chernobog's great, man. You can get Chernobog down on turn 5 and he quests for 3 lore. I was like, yeah, Ray does that and he's evasive.
Yeah.
And I haven't had to work half my deck around getting him out. Like, I just, and that's it. Is like you can ramp all you like into 10, and what are you doing playing Goofy Knight for a day?
Yeah, exactly.
There just isn't really the big ends at the minute. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. Go ahead.
Next is an uninkable 3 cost in a rare card in Sapphire, Mama Odie, Mystical Maven. She has 1 strength, 3 willpower, 1 lore, Storyborn Mentor with the ability, this going to be good. Whenever you play a song, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Songs are good, and being able to ramp when you play songs is probably good too.
A Sapphire song's good. Are there any Sapphire songs?
Let It Go is pretty good.
Oh yeah, One Jump Ahead, I suppose, is Sapphire. Not many come to mind though, eh? Like I've never really thought about it. I've always thought that songs are relatively well distributed across the colors, just that some colors deal with them and use them better. But no, I guess maybe it's just Sapphire just isn't a songy color.
Yeah, I mean Sapphire's trying so hard to do the item thing, you know.
Yeah. At least this isn't a card that says items, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Let It Go.
4 jump ahead.
That's good.
I like that.
Yeah, I think this might see play, I think, actually.
A friend like me. Get out of here.
Let It Go, 1 jump ahead. It's not known for songs, but I suppose if you pair it with a color that is, it's maybe a thing. I don't hate this.
I've always felt like Amber Sapphire really liked each other, and you know, of course, Amber leans really heavily into the song sing. Also, there's plenty of other colors that have good songs. Emerald Sapphire is a thing that people really like, and they're getting better songs. You know.
Yeah, maybe. 3 costed, uninkable, 0/3 for 1 lore. Baloo von Brunvold the 13th, Dreamborn Hero, Bodyguard. Let's make like a tree. Whenever this character is banished, gain 2 lore. I think Baloo suffered a little bit from being revealed during a big reveal season with lots of other fun things going on that day. I think this is great.
Yep. This is a top 5 Amber card in my opinion.
I completely agree. I think this is really, really good. I think this is good. I don't know what else to say about it. I think it's great.
Gain 2 lore, win banished, period.
Yeah.
Like, this enters play, it's gaining at least 2 lore, unless the game ends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be Let It Go.
Well, if it's shuffled into your deck, or if it's put into your inkwell.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as the Amethyst, because it's not Amethyst, so it can't be quite as good as the Amethyst unconditional leave play.
If my opponent's playing Let It Go on my Baloo, though, I think I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, maybe you're fine with that, right? I think this is good. I think this plays. I don't know. Does this replace something in Bodyguards?
I don't know. That's tough.
What's your 3-drop Bodyguard that you're running at the minute?
Well, Hercules, the Prince. Like there's like the bodyguards are good. Yeah. There's not very many bodyguards that are particularly bad, and there's scenarios in which you would play Hercules like over this.
Yeah.
Especially because it's uninkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah, I dig it though. I think it's a good card. I'm excited to see where it settles in.
Me too.
Next up
is an inkable 5-cost common card in Ruby. Billy Bones, Keeper of the Map. He has 6 strength, 5 willpower, 1 lore. He's a vanilla character. Love to see Billy Bones. He's an alien pirate, but otherwise, nothing too exciting.
He's Maui. If you've got a Jolly Roger out.
That's true. He's Maui if he were not a demigod and aged.
But I'll tell you what, pirates, man, you want to look at him. You got a Jolly Roger out. You got a Jolly Roger on the board. This is a better Maui because he's not reckless.
Yeah, you just don't have to challenge if you don't want to.
I think this isn't terrible. I think it's only pirates. It's the only place it ever goes.
It's like there's not great pirate cards. This is above
This is mid pirate.
This is like mid pirate, which isn't saying much, but it's there.
Yeah, mid pirate. I like that. She's not a pirate. She's a captain. It's another mid one though, I think. 3 costed inkable, 1/5 for 1 lore. Captain Amelia, first in command, Storyborn alien captain. And during your turn, this gains evasive. Cool. Kills Pascal.
Yeah, what is this doing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're trying to like play support characters with this, and that's the idea. I don't know.
Yeah. Draft chaff. Next.
Yeah. Next is an inkable 4-cost Emerald card, Friar Tuck, Priest of Nottingham. He has 2 strength, 4 willpower, 2 lore. You thieving scoundrel. When you play this character, the player or players with the most cards in their hand chooses and discards a card. I don't know. This is like that. This is the point in discard where you've probably discarded a card or 2 from your opponent's hand already.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that it's great for that reason, because they'll probably have less cards than you do.
There's a good and I think a lot of people missed this when they first saw it. There's a good chance that the player with the most cards in their hand is you. And it is not a May ability.
No,
so there's a good chance you are playing this on 4. So does it? I don't even think it finds a home in the relentless thing with discard.
No, I was about to say. Do you play this with Sheriff Nottingham? I think Sheriff Nottingham, outside of the Beast Relentless thing, is way over hyped.
Yeah.
Like, discarding a card to deal 1 damage is not good.
No. Like, there's an argument if we do see like a real prevalence of a whole new world, there's an argument to be said for him just sitting there. Sure. As a response to it, but even then, no. I think he's a combo, wombo, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. 3-costed inkable 6/6 for 1. Gustav the Giant, Terror of the Kingdom, Dreamborn villain, all tied up. This character enters play exerted and can't ready at the start of your turn. And break free. During your turn, whenever one of your other characters banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. I don't love this.
No, I feel like this is a card that wants really badly Ruby Seal to work. Yeah. And the challenging Ruby Seal stuff just doesn't work right now.
No. I mean, 2 of these out, if you can get one of them ready, starts to be quite fun, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, you know,
readying each other over and over.
You know, a 6/6 on 3 needs to be very difficult.
Yeah.
LeFou likes this card. I mean, LeFou. I suppose LeFou can ready it. Play this on 3. Play LeFou on 4. No, it's still bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Next is an inkable 3-cost item in Sapphire, Heart of Tefiti. Create life, exert this item, pay 2 ink, put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. Why you would play this over Fishbone Hook?
It scared me a little then.
I don't understand. Like, I get it's coming from the top, right?
Well, that's why, yeah. But I don't
other
know.
things. But 2 ink is steep, man.
Yeah, it is.
For that, I don't know. Just play Fishbone Quill and draw cards. Play Fishbone Quill and Amethyst.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's play anything in Amethyst. 6-costed inkable 2/5 for 3. Cloudkicker Navigator, Floodborn ally with Shift 3 and Ward. I don't mind this, honestly. Like, I just don't know where it goes.
It's good in a Floodborn. What's the term? I can't think of the term, but
matters.
Yeah, Floodborn matters, but there's another word I'm thinking of. I'm not going to be able to remember right now. But
like this. I don't know. I messed around at the start of the set with an Emerald Sapphire Flood Bowl Matters deck that ran like Bucky and stuff from Emerald, and then all of the 5-drop Floodborns in Sapphire. So Cogsworth, Water Aurora, all of those. This would go quite nicely in there, but I don't know. I still don't know if it's enough.
Yeah.
And then the
target.
It's weird. Go ahead.
It's weird because I feel like Emerald Sapphire has a lot there to have a really aggressive mid-game like questing. Like they have quite a few really value characters that have 3 lore for not all that expensive. Like Gaston has 3 lore. He's a shift character. Now we have Cloudkicker. There's probably some more that I can't think of right now. But it just maybe it gets a little bit better with Into the Inklands. I'd kind of like to see it get better, but it just didn't seem to take off like this past set.
No, I think this is one to bear in mind for if that gets a little bit more support, but I don't know, you're gonna be able to get this on 3. The shift target for it here is a 1-cost dinkable 0/1 with ward, so it can literally just sit there until you find the Floodborn, right? Like,
yeah, I guess that's true. That's a pretty aggressive opening,
right?
Like if you,
him on 1, Bucky on 2, this on 3. Quest for 3, discard a card. Like, why is that? Why is that not good? Right? Like, it seems really good.
Even the bippity boppity boo lines, where like last set it was Flynn on 1, Bucky 2, shift Flynn, bippity boppity boo. You're discarding a bunch of cards.
Yeah, but you're still only probably questing for 2 with the Flynn that turn. If you like because chances are they've still probably got like a few cards in their hand, right?
Well, you can't quest because you're using Flynn to sing.
If you're using to sing, and even then, Flynn sat there then waiting for a couple of turns before their hand's empty, and most likely just getting picked off with something.
And that's the thing. Flynn had evasive, so like not anything could challenge it.
Yeah.
But this has ward, so like your opponent doesn't have any cards to play, and they can't use a smash or a dragonfire or something like that to get rid of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
Yeah. And also, yes, it has ward. It doesn't have evasive, but it's got a 5 on the butt. What's killing a 5 on the butt on turn 3?
On turn 3, not much.
Jonti not mentioned Bucky challenge. It doesn't happen. Bucky is
to be fair,
here. Always.
Actually, maybe you did. Did I bring up Bucky there?
No, I did. I think Francis is making the joke that it doesn't go often without me saying how great Bucky is.
I mean, Bucky's a good card.
Oh man, I'm building it. I'm building it straight after this stream. I'm gonna get some cards.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Kit 1, Bucky 2, Kit 3, profit. All right, you want to go to the next one?
Oh wait, we just did the. Okay, are we at Madame Medusa now?
Yeah.
Okay, uninkable 6-cost ruby, super rare card, Madame Medusa, the boss. She has 4 strength, 4 willpower, 1 lore with the ability That Terrible Woman. When you play this character, banish chosen opposing character with 3 strength or less. I think this card got overlooked a little bit. Because I think this is actually pretty good. It's it's very similar to Lady Tremaine. She's not a Floodborn, so you can't do like Tremaine, then shift on Tremaine.
Oh, hey, I did that today. Sorry, just total tangent. After me not even realizing it was a thing and trying to poorly correct gameplay on a live stream the other day. Today I was playing. I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do this," and I got the shift onto shift terrain onto Tremaine. Sorry, and also Espeon. Long came Zeus. If you have something with Singer, he has ward. It's no good. True. You've got to hit him. He has ward. Sorry, moving on. Madam Medusa, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So very similar to Tremaine, has 1 extra strength. Not Floodborn, and Lady Tremaine has 2 lore, I think. So she only has 1, but. 3 strength or less hits a lot of things to banish, and you get to choose what gets banished. Whereas with Lady Tremaine, we've seen a lot of people play around it by playing just like a cheap 1 cost or something next to whatever they don't want to be banished. So being able to choose what is banished with this, I think is pretty big. Obviously, like its biggest downfalls compared to Tremaine is, again, not being able to shift on top of itself, but also not being able to get around ward. Yeah. But at least with last set, ward I don't think was much of a problem except for Cogsworth.
Yeah, and Bucky Prince John, pretty much, I think, was the only things with ward that was really seeing so much play.
I don't know that matchup enough to know how much that mattered. Because I know basically with like the Emerald Steel discard versus Ruby Amethyst, if Emerald Steel was aggressive enough, it was basically be prepared or bust for the most part.
Yeah. I think with this one, it's probably you play 2 of this and 2 Tremaine if you're gonna get them in. I think I don't know whether you run both at 4. And my only worry with that would be is that every time you want to see the Medusa, you see the Tremaine, and every time you want to see the Tremaine, you see the Medusa. You know, I think that's my only real issue.
I think there's certain decks that you play one and certain decks that you play the other, or like it's a counter tech pick where like I see who said this, Dino mentioned in the chat, like she gets rid of Ursula. It's like if Ruby Amethyst is really popular again, and you need a card to change things up or counter certain other cards. Yeah, maybe you slot in Madame Medusa for a couple Tremaine. So I don't know. I don't think the card's bad at all.
And maybe if we see so much prevalence of the anti-song stuff, like the Ursula and the Bare Necessities, to the point where Be Prepared isn't as viable as it was, then I think this is better. Because I think Tremaine really shines when she comes down after a Be Prepared, or just before, or instead of. I'm only going to play one thing because you're going to Be Prepared me anyway. Cool, he's a Tremaine.
This hits so many things. Like it hits Beast Tragic Hero, it hits Stitch Rockstar, hits all the like singers, hits Ursula, hits I don't know, lots of stuff. There's of course some stuff it doesn't hit, but there's a lot of really big threatening characters that this takes out.
Urizi points out that this plus Kidda or this plus the Queen, like I would love a villain thing to work. I don't think it's there yet, but I don't hate Amber Ruby villains that runs this and the Queen, and then you get full choice of the board. Yeah. I think it's. I think she's better than I undervalued her. I think originally. I think maybe she's better than I thought. 3 costed inkable, 1/5, 1 lore, magic broom, the big sweeper, Dreamborn broom with clean sweep. While this character is at a location, it gets +2. I feel like I just said broom sweep, sweepy broom, broom sweep then. broom sweep, broom sweep, sweep. Common cards.
Those are broom players in a nutshell.
This is fine, I guess. I don't know. Sits on the sorcerer's tower and gets 2 lore.
It's a fun card.
Yeah. It just annoys me that it's not a sweeper.
What do you mean it's not a sweeper?
So sweepers is like Be Prepared is a sweeper. Like that's a term for in TCGs. Like should be. I'd like to see this. Destroy all non-broom characters.
Oh my god. That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad though. Get rid of all your sorcerers and stuff. I don't know. Yeah. My point still stands with brooms. I want to get 4 of each of them, shuffle them together, play them once, and be like, okay, cool, it's not a thing. Let's go.
Yeah, I hope this is not the last that we see of brooms since we got since we got a lot of it from the whole package this set instead of just 1 or 2.
Yeah. I have anything else to say about that one?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Next, we have an inkable 2-cost in Amethyst, Magic Carpet Flying Rug. It has 2 strength, 1 willpower, 1 lore with evasive, and the ability Find the Way. You can exert Magic Carpet to move a character of yours to a location for free. I love the flavor for this card. It's perfect. It's great. It's awesome. I don't think it's good though.
No, I don't. Well, no, I don't think it is either. Because because I don't think Amethyst cares enough about locations.
And there's so few locations that cost more than 2 to move to, or cost less than 2 to move to. Yeah, that it's like it doesn't make a lot of sense to pay 2 for this and then move a character for free. It's like you'd have to do that more than once. Yeah. In order for it to be worth it, and it just has such a fragile body that it probably doesn't last very long. No. Against stuff that's not steel, maybe it's a little bit better because they might have to commit a more heavy like removal option if they don't want you moving characters around for free. But it's a card that really, really suffers into steel, and I think steel, at least for the near future will be very prevalent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, and like I say, just Amethyst. Like if this was Ruby, I'd probably look at it quite differently, honestly. Just because I think the Ruby Steel locations is going to be more of a prevalent thing. Amethyst has got it's got the Queen's thing, like you say, it's one to move there. It's got the brooms, and you'd only play that with brooms, and brooms are free to move there. And then there's the uncommon, the vanilla. So yeah, I'm not fussed on this at all. Here's a location. Did I read that last one, or did you do the last one?
I did.
Okay, 4-costed Inkable.
There's the location.
McDuck Manor. 1 to move here. 9 willpower.
Oh boy.
2 lore. 4 is gross though, in it. Like I would, everything on the bottom half of this card, I'm like, oh yeah, look at this, and then it's like just 4 to move. It's just 4 to play. It's way too much, I think. Especially
in Sapphire, your 4-drop slot is. I mean, you already had Hiram. There's like other stuff in the set that I can't think of right now that also wants to come down on 4.
That's 3.
That's 3.
Yeah.
The new Grandma Tala, it's actually pretty okay.
Yeah.
Is also a 4 cost. The thing is, though, I still don't think this is bad. Like, I still see a deck where you might actually play this, because 9 willpower is just wild, and then
it's huge.
Gain 2 lore the next turn. It's probably pretty big. And this is, I think, like a perfect example of a location that's annoying enough that it needs to be dealt with, but not so big of a threat that you want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So you end up like wasting your turn or wasting a lot of stuff just to get rid of this thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe this finds a home somewhere. Like I said, everything other than that 4 is great, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, also you've often ramping past 4, right? Because 3 you'll play detective.
Yeah, or Fishbone Quill, or any of that stuff.
Yeah, and then you skip 4, and then you're playing a 5-drop. So yeah, all right, 3-costed Inkable 3/3 for 1 lore Mickey Mouse Stalwart Explorer. Dreamborn Hero. Let's take a look. This character gets +1 for each location you have in play. I don't think this is very good.
No.
Sorry,
plus
Mickey.
Strength a lot, unfortunately.
What's Mickey's best card?
The first one I think of is Brave Little Tailor. What's after that? Maybe Detective is also pretty good.
I think Detective probably sees most play.
Yeah. The Emerald one definitely doesn't see any play.
Neither of them.
The Amber one is just a vanilla. What's an Amethyst Mickey?
Well, set 2 we had Mickey. The Amber. We had the Amber set 2 one as well. Didn't we?
Doesn't see any play either.
Your pal, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really liked that card, but it just doesn't see much play. What's the Ruby Mickey would be the BLT.
That's it. He's the only one.
Mickey's not great. Sapphire. Yeah, it's probably Detective.
Yeah, it's Detective.
I guess.
Detective or Sorcerer. I mean, Sorcerer's good if you want to play brooms, and maybe gets better with more brooms, but it's just weird, isn't it, to think that maybe it's a conscious decision. They're like, well, we can't just have Mickey be the best.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if they know that they're gonna make 100 Mickey Mouses, like they all kind of have to be Mickey Mouse. They all have to be,
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, this one's not good. Sorry.
Anyway,
Nick. What was that meme? Somebody put a meme on the other day, and it really made me howl. It was like. It said nicknames are for friends, and Michael Mouse is no friend of mine. It was great. Go on.
Okay. Anyway, we have an Inkable 2-cost Amber card, rare Minnie Mouse musical artist, 1 strength, 3 willpower, 1 lore, Singer 3. with the ability Entourage. Whenever you play a character with Bodyguard, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. I think this is actually pretty okay, mainly for the Singer keyword. Singer 3 on turn 2 is pretty good.
I mean, Cinderella on 1 is the probably the best opening in Amber, right?
Yeah, probably.
But even just thinking about the tournament that you streamed the other day, which we should talk about a little bit in a minute, but even thinking about that, how many times did you see that thing die before it did nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is just adding in a little bit of what's the word like when they, like you play too much of something so you can guarantee you're hitting it kind of thing, you know? Like, and I wonder if that's it. It's like you play her on 1, this on 2, and then turn 2, Cindy's singing, but then turn 3, Minnie's also singing the same stuff after Cindy's died. Maybe that's it. And the bodyguard thing is kind of nice, I suppose. Your bodyguards can be a little bit more aggressive if you've got this out, I guess. Redundancy. Thank you, Vader Llama. That's exactly the word I was looking for. You perhaps play this for some redundancy alongside Cinderella.
Yeah, and like just in general, singing songs are so strong because of how powerful they are. So like just having another character that's cheap, and whose primary goal is to sing songs rather than eating up another character that could be doing other better things like questing or even challenging, I think it's just good. Like just being able to utilize songs without having to pay for them. You're getting essentially free resources, free cards played. So more characters that can sing more expensive cards is just good.
Yeah. All right. Next up
is Mr. Snoops, inept businessman, an inkable 6 cost, 4 strength, 8 willpower, 2 lore character who's a vanilla.
Yeah. And then let's move on. You can do the next one as well.
Next is Mufasa, champion of the Pride Lands, an inkable 7 cost steel rare card with 3 strength, 10 willpower, and 3 lore. But he's a vanilla. I'll play him in draft.
Yeah, into the next one as well. We're out of the vanilla valley.
Next is an uninkable 4 cost Ruby rare card, action card. On your feet now. Ready all your characters and deal 1 damage to each of them. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. This is a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know what this card's trying to do. Tell us what this is doing. I have no idea.
Like this, I'm thinking this goes in a. What did I see? Oh yeah, it was Grandpappy. Saw somebody post this Grandpappy, Hydra, and Gumbo Pot, and I was like, that's kind of cute.
This Grandpappy, Hydra, and Gumbo Pot. What does Gumbo Pot do again? It just heals, doesn't it?
It heals 2 characters for 1 damage.
Okay. So you get 4 lore.
You can ping 1 with Hydra, and then that's it. And all your characters are ready. Or no, I guess you would challenge with Hydra, deal damage, play this, deal damage with Hydra again, maybe use Gumbo Pot to heal everything, gain some more. I don't know. Hydra is a little bit weird. You really don't need the Hydra.
No, that's what I was trying to figure out how that worked.
It's the Grandpappy thing. I think they were more or less trying to convey like this and a Donald or a Hydra or like any of the cards that care about being damaged. There's a little bit of synergy there.
Maybe. I just feel like it's all still spinning its wheels though, and we haven't seen the payoff.
Exactly.
And that's fine. Like I feel like in set 2 we got a couple of set 1 we got a couple of discard things, right? And I feel like set 3 is really where it's coming to its own. Set 2 we got a little bit of this sort of self-damaging thing. We've got some more here. Maybe the next set's where it really comes into its own. There are 2 cards in this set that allow you to move damage counters around. And I feel like we're going to see that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're going to have stuff just kind of move along. What are you looking at?
I feel like there's a third.
Is there? I think there's Mama Odie and Maleficent.
There's one more. There's like an action or something that lets you move a damage counter.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's a Maleficent action. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's the one that Luminary got to show off.
Right, that doesn't matter.
But again, I feel like that's how we're always going to see archetypes sort of form, is that they just get trickled in over 3 or 4 sets, you know? Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, sure. 3 costed Inkable, 3/4 for 1 lore, Pluto Mickey's clever friend. Dreamborn ally, common. Sure. We've had this before, right? I can't think exactly what stat line this is off the top of my head, but this is definitely a functional reprint, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Here's what it is. I'll do the next one as well. Vanillas, you get a free go. 5 costed Inkable, 5/4 for 1 lore, Pyros, Lava Titan, Storyborn Titan with Eruption. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready chosen character. I don't hate this, honestly, and I feel like this is... I don't know. I put this on Twitter saying I think this is a bit of a sleeper, and I think it might be. I think someone might find something that really breaks this. I don't think the Titan deck is very good, but I think this might be a playable card.
Yeah, the fact that it allows you to ready a character and they can still quest. Like there's no it doesn't say anything they can't do. They're just ready. Yeah. It is really strong. I really like the art for this card. Just by the way, I think it looks really cool. But yeah, I definitely see some potential with this card. The moment we get more ways to challenge your opponent's characters like easier or on your own terms, I definitely think this card just gets way better. And like maybe that's supposed to already be there with all the amethyst like exert cards that are around. And if that's the case, I don't think that's like good enough. But this might be a little bit of a sleeper. We'll see.
And we've also got like there's literally a card that says this: anything you like can challenge anything you like, called Pick a Fight, right? And it just doesn't see any play. So I don't know what the solution is. We've got loads of stuff that exerts theirs, and we've got stuff that lets us hit unexerted things. So I don't know what we're asking for.
I don't either, to be honest.
Yeah, but we're asking for something. But yeah, I don't hate this. All right, go ahead.
Next is an Inkable 1-cost rare card, an Amethyst, Rafiki, Mystical Fighter. He's a 0/2 with 1 lore. He has Challenger +3 and the ability Ancient Skills. Whenever he challenges a hyena character, this character takes no damage from the challenge. I think it's so funny that the only hyena character we got this set has 0 strength unless it's at a location.
Yeah.
With this card. But I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's hyenas coming in.
And like I was saying, I just think that that's it. We're gonna see next set we'll see 3 more hyenas, and next set we'll see 4 more, and and then hyenas the thing.
Not that Amethyst needed better cards, but I also think this is a little bit of a sleeper. Because like Captain Hook is pretty good, right? Like just the 1-drop Captain Hook.
Yeah.
And this is that, but an Amethyst. Functionally, this is that, but an Amethyst.
Yeah, he becomes a 3/2. And then there is an upside, even though it doesn't actually matter at the minute.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. I also just like Rafiki.
Yeah, it's cool art as well. Rafiki's had a couple of bangers. Is that it?
Rafiki. Okay, hold on. Vander says Rafiki is anti-Kita. Rafiki is not anti-Kita because when Kita puts negative, when Kita puts -3, gives everything -3 strength. Character strength doesn't go below 0, but there's still like a -3 strength. You can imagine like a -3 strength counter is on the card. But then when Rafiki would go to challenge and gain 3 challenger, then all the modifiers get added together. So it's -3 +3. You still end up with 0. Anyway.
There you go. You've been told.
Next.
There's only one more. 2-costed Inkable 1/3 for 1 lore. Razul, Palace Guard, Storyborn Ally Captain. With Lucky here. While this character has no damage, he gets +2. So I don't know about this one really. I didn't really rate this very high originally. I feel like you'd probably still want the Challenger that's kind of doing the same thing in a similar slot. Mm-hmm. But I have seen people play Smee and actually have some good results with him. And this is just another captain early in the game to make sure that Smee stays up.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, but Prince Eric's a captain. Is he? He may not be actually. He may only be a prince.
I think he's a prince.
Okay. Never mind.
But I mean, the perfect one is the 1-drop hook, right? The Challenger hook, Smee on 2. But yeah, I don't know about this one. Maybe not. Maybe I'd play this. I'd draft this probably.
Yeah, I think this is a strong draft card. Like Lawrence was a pretty good strong draft card just because he was like a 4/4 until he got damaged. The same thing with this. 2 costs 3/3 until he's damaged.
Javin says, I don't think that's how it works. It is.
It is how it works.
Did devs comment that as facts? They did.
Yes, they did.
We will never report anything that's false, ever. You can trust us with your life.
We're always right.
This Week in Ink is always right. Yeah, no, it is. It's the minus ability sort of hovers over the top of them. Yeah, we know how strength modifiers work in the game. Yeah. Googly Gamer says, also, yes, we have a very clear understanding of how strength modifiers work. There you go. See?
I was going to say, Googly also has some good videos on little rules and things like that in Lorcana that's cool to check out.
Yeah, 100%.
So he would also know.
All right. So there you go. There's your reveals. That's 204 cards.
Woo!
We're done. See you in 3 months.
See you guys next week.
Do we? I just realized people were asking about the Enchanted before. I haven't got them up, but I can get them up. Do we want to quickly have a look at those?
Yeah.
All right.
There's people earlier in the chat that were asking about our Enchanted stuff.
Chat amongst yourselves for a second while I grab them. Then, where's a good place to see them all?
I have them all on Lorcana. You can just kind of pull them up in
and search.
Right. If you filter it, well, you can't search, but if you filter into the Inklands and then Enchanteds, they're just all there.
Cool. All right, I'll grab those real quick.
Chat, what Enchanteds are your favorite?
Bear in mind there is a correct answer.
Is there? Is it your favorite?
Yeah.
I think I know which one your favorite.
I don't fit on the screen very nicely, but there we go.
I don't think I have a favorite. There might be
Dreamborn
one.
has them. Oh, they might. Do you know what? They might fill the screen nicer on Dreamborn, actually.
True.
Because it sits across a little bit more.
Let's see. We've got
filter.
So much Kita. Everybody loves
Set
Kita.
Into the Inklands.
Ursula, Helga in my heart. I know, R.I.P. Helga, no. Enchanted. Funny thing, I didn't even realize that Helga likely didn't have an Enchanted until the very end of the day after Ursula and Morph had been revealed and hours had gone by. And then I was like, oh, wait, these are both Emerald. Helga probably doesn't have a Enchanted.
Yeah. Sad.
Rochelle, you are totally right. That's my favorite.
Lorcana Zeus is the correct answer.
Yeah,
it's all right.
When I was looking at them and I was like, I don't think I have a favorite except maybe one. And Along Came Zeus was that one. I
will say Along Came Zeus will look badass because the steel Enchanteds look great for the most part. Namari really pops. Like she looks really good in real life. Kida is my favorite by like by a landslide. I really like Ursula. I actually really like Grandma Tala. I like Chernobog. I like Jafar. I like Maleficent. I like more of these as a percentage as I ever as I have of any of the others. And it's because of that art style that they have. They look like a set. They look special, you know. All of the others we had in set 1 or 2, they're beautiful. You know, I've literally got some sat in front of me. I'm a big fan of them. But for me, they were like, oh, cool, full arts with a fancy foil.
Yeah.
These look like something extra, you know. These look like an extra step up for me personally. The reason I love the Kida one so much is because it is a realistic. I'm saying realistic. She's a yellow floating woman, you know. But like proportionally and like physically, she's realistically drawn. Compared to all of the others, which are still relatively sort of honest depictions of the characters. You know what I mean? Like true depictions of the characters in that painterly style, but still very recognizable. I think if Kida wasn't in that pose, perhaps, and we didn't know, like I think it'd be difficult to say it was her because it's a very realistic face on her. Compared to the art style of Atlantis, it's quite angular, you know, like it's very sort of disproportional and angular. And what I love about this is that it's a real like a realistic representation of her, and I just think it's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's a great card. There's probably realistically probably half of these cards I'd be very excited to pull and would probably keep. Mm-hmm. The Enchanteds before this in set 1 and set 2 were definitely, it was obvious that they were special cards. Like there's no mistaking, like you pulled something special. But yeah, I think this is a huge step up from the first 2 sets. And not to say that those weren't great either. I've got some favorite arts from those Enchanteds, but these are just on a whole nother level. And like, I mean, these are special cards. These are I don't want to say worth collecting because the other ones are worth collecting too, but like these are even more, feel like they're even more worth collecting. And they're just beautiful. I see some people saying in the chat that like they don't love the locations as Enchanted, things like that. I think they're great. I think it's awesome. I like some of the locations and dislike some of the locations for the same reason that I like and dislike some of the other characters. It doesn't really have anything to do with like whether it's a location or not.
The location thing doesn't fuss me. I think I would have liked to have seen a cycle of them rather than 4 and then 2 other things personally. But I don't mind the fact that they're locations. Again, some of them I like and some of them I don't, just because of like just personal preference, right? The fact is I don't pull many Enchanteds. I'd be a little annoyed opening a few boxes and pulling the one that's a pile of books. You know, like,
I like that one.
Well, there you go. And that's the answer, isn't it? Really, the answer is there's no correct answer because everyone's got something a bit different. But yeah, for me, Kida just like Ursula, I say a very close second. Ursula sits much higher than all the others, but Kida is just like stratospherically so much higher. I don't. Belle's house, I don't. It's not. It isn't. It's just not a very interesting shape or pose, I suppose. The thing that annoys me the most about him is there's a couple of them that are like a little off center, and it's such a little thing. Well, but the Jafar is off center, but it's quite purposefully. It's using the rule of thirds, and I don't mind that one so much. But like Morph is just like this.
I love Morph,
but he's just. But he's here though. Look what my hands doing.
I know.
He's just.
I know.
Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck. It's just.
Is he?
Is
Scrooge?
I think he wants to be a little, just a little.
They just cut the card wrong a little bit too far.
But no, they're all great. Happily pull any of them. Like. I like Sorcerer's Hat is dull. I mean, it's a very simple piece of art. The reason I like the Sorcerer's Hat is because it's such an iconic piece, anyway, right? Like it's just it is a iconic Disney item. So I'm more than happy to have that one, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, they're lovely.
They're great. I want to collect all the first chapter Enchanted just to have all of the first chapter stuff, but I could see myself wanting to collect a large majority of these just to have them. Yeah. They're just beautiful.
If it hasn't if the pull rates haven't changed overall, these are going to be just as expensive, maybe even more so.
Yeah, probably more. Yeah, I would expect them to be more expensive. Even if the pull rates were exactly the same, I could see these being more expensive than the rest of the Flipborn cards, and probably about as expensive as the first chapters.
Hold on, I'm just going to bring up some stuff for Market Watch, but I'm still set to Canada, and nobody is shipping boxes to Canada. I don't blame them.
I think if I had to pick, obviously we only have one song in item. But since Along Came Zeus is my favorite, if I had to pick a character, it's probably Morph or Robin Hood, if I had to guess. And then I think Pride Lands is my favorite location out of the Enchanteds.
There you go.
But I want so freaking badly for them to release the full arts of these cards. Yeah. Gosh dang it.
So I have them. I always have one on my phone. So Sisu has been my phone background.
Beautiful.
And before that, Carefree Surfer was my phone background. I like to put my Chase Enchanted as my phone background. So I need the full art of Kidda, please. And thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, what was the other one we're looking at? Oh yeah, Relentless.
Should probably pull those up.
Okay.
How much set 3 do you guys have pre-ordered, chat? Let me know while we pull this up.
Talking of pre-ordering set 3, here's Lorcana into the Inklands booster boxes. These are going for cheap.
Cheaper than anything we've seen so far, especially for pre-orders.
126 is the cheapest one I'm looking at here, which is kind of insane. Right.
Yeah, that's wild. Like pre-sale, less than MSRP.
Yeah, I think it's purely product availability. Like, there's just more of it out there. You were saying that, I haven't got them up here, but you were saying that troves and gift sets aren't doing this.
No.
And again, I just think that's,
I don't know what your store is like, Jonti, but I know our store, our allocation was a little bit different this time. I don't know if there were more boxes or not. I assume more or maybe just as many because they actually put up pre-orders this time, which was nice. But they definitely got less troves and gift sets than they did last time.
Exactly the same as us, yeah. We got more boxes, but less of everything else, pretty much. Yeah. And I mean, I don't hate that, to be honest with you. I feel like troves and gift sets should probably be going to big box stores. I think that's where they will do well. That's where new people are going to find them.
Yeah, probably.
I hope that the increase in booster sales, booster boxes, will just get cards into players' hands, meaning that they can leave the more sort of frontline products to big box stores alone and let that actually get into the people's hands that are going to spread the game into new areas. So, but then still everyone wants a trove because they want the dice, they want the box. That's the problem.
I want like 5 troves. Chat, if you guys didn't get troves, and this is why, if you have a trove and you don't want the dividers, let me know. I want so many dividers to sort all of my bulk, and I was like, I'm going to need a bajillion troves just to get all those dividers.
For those pieces of cardboard.
Yeah. So I'm not going to get that many troves. I'll be lucky if I get a trove for my LGS. But
yeah, boosters are where it's at. I'm at Disney World. I'm going to get so many gift sets. Yeah, that's where they all go. That's why they're not in the game stores, because Disney World's got them locked down. A couple of cards I wanted to look at then, because this is the first time I feel this has really happened, that a card from a previous set has become more playable or just sort of more wanted based on cards coming in the new set due to combos. So the first one we're going to look at is Beast Relentless.
Oh my god.
What?
What's your number for Beast Relentless right now?
$30.
Oh my god. I bought this for $6 last week.
Yeah. It's because everyone saw the Wombo combo.
I won't lie. I instant pulled the trigger on the 2 Beast Relentless that I haven't pulled yet. As soon as I saw Sheriff Nottingham and the Bayou, before people were really like playing it. Last I checked, like yesterday, this was up to like $10 or $12. I was like, okay, that's not bad. I didn't realize it was all the way up to 30. Oh my lord!
And market price is currently sitting at 25. Yeah, it's the thing. It's the new thing. There, you can buy there's one for $70.
I say I bought them. I don't actually know if they've shipped yet. I need to see if they're going
to refund you and put them back up for $30.
Not exactly what happened to that Enchanted Stitch that I never got and ended up buying another one. But anyway, I'm not having much luck with online sales.
No, I try and avoid them. And then the other one, you think that's bad? Boom! Look at a whole new world.
Let's see.
So it's still available fairly cheaply. There's a lightly played one for $7. Yeah, but this is pretty much doubled in price in as many days, mostly because of the Jafar play, I think. Yeah. I mean, Whole New World's a little different because it's a very good card anyway. So I don't necessarily know as it's lost as much value over time. We're still not up to the absolute heights of release when it was sort of $20, but a whole new price, exactly. Yeah, so they're the only two I really wanted to point out. Relentless, Whole New World. If you're sitting on them, I think you're probably good to sit on them for another week.
And I'd probably
foil Whole New World. Cheapest foil is lightly played 10. Near mint foil. Oh man, I'm having to go to page 2. Not many. Is there? Can I hold foil? There we go. There's only 10 listed. Lightly played. After that, $50. Near mint foil, $50.
Great.
Woo-wee.
I'll be honest. I was surprised that Whole New World wasn't already sitting at like $10 for a card.
I think just so much of it came in the restock, and I think people who were valuing it and playing it already had it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, obviously people are seeing the Jafar combo, and it's just going to spike and probably keep going. I don't know. We don't offer financial advice here. We just commentate on what's the market's doing. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to keep an eye on. So to finish off with, then talking of cars like that peaking, how do you feel the sort of early reports from playtesting is going regarding decks?
I don't think. Well, I'm glad to see people having fun and just like testing. Stuff, like maybe. Well, maybe people think what they're testing right now is going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good in the long run, and so I call that having fun. But I've seen a lot of people trying a lot of different lists, and I'm just happy to see that instead of people immediately trying to metagame everything and see like what's the best, most efficient deck. The ones that stick out to me are obviously we've mentioned the Jafar Whole New World, we've mentioned the Beast Relentless. I've seen a couple different Mufasa variants of decks being played, both for Emerald and Ruby, which have looked a little bit interesting. I've also heard a lot of people mention Chernabog. I don't think the card is great, or we'll see much play. What are some others? I haven't seen as much Pluto as I would like.
I haven't seen much Amber as I'd like, honestly. Like I just in general.
I've seen some Amber. The problem it's having right now, it just has so many good. When I say that, it's mainly like Steel Song. It just has so many good shift, like so many good things to do. Like you can do the Pluto thing. You've got Robin Hood now. You've got Kita. You've got I think Perdita is actually pretty good. Yeah. Or has potential. Like there's a lot of good stuff going on in Amber, and amber plus other ink colors, really. And I think it's just more of like there's too many good things, and we have to just pick one of them.
What I really want to see is just a real, true, honest to goodness rush aggro, low to the ground. I'm going to put as much on the board as possible. I'm going to turn it sideways before you can even look up. Like that's like we had it at one point. There was an amber amethyst thing. You know, it was using Lilos and the Maleficents. Like that's what I really want to see. Just a real, honest to goodness. I'm going to play as many things as possible. I'm going to turn them sideways as much as possible, and like that. I really want to see something like that come out of the woodwork as well. That's just way quicker than anything else. But absolutely falls to bits as soon as like if you haven't got 15 lore by turn 5, you get grab your swords and you're dead. Like that's that's what I want to see. Like that's an important deck to exist, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Hyper aggro is important to keep the really control decks in check at some point.
Yeah. I don't know what Sapphire's doing. I have no interest in playing with items. Either. I have no interest in playing with ramp. I'm sorry, Sapphire. We love you, but I don't love you.
I just haven't seen people really trying much. I saw Eric from the Gamer post a Alice and Chernobog Sapphire Amber deck. Okay. It's the only time I've seen it posted.
Alice and Chernobog? How do they work together? Oh, because he's just big enough to give her support. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just need Chernobog.
Yeah, of course, because she's 1 and she needs to be 10. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how good it is. I just saw that he posted it. I thought it looked cute. And then there's.
I think it'd be good if it gave you more than 5 lore.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's just not. I don't know. Is the payoff worth it? And is it like you quest once and then it all goes away? But yeah, I wish there was more Sapphire. There's some stuff I haven't seen tested as much that I'd like to see tested. I haven't seen near as much Morph as I thought that I would see. Like playing with just a Floodborn.
It's a Floodborn heavy deck.
Yeah, just playing a bunch of Floodborns and choosing which ones to play depending on the situation. I'd like to see more of that. I haven't seen as much Emerald Steel being played, which would be fun to see because I think there's a lot of stuff going on there. I mean, there's the Beast Relentless deck, but I don't know how sustainable that is.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I haven't seen. I want to have a look at it like a proper discard deck. Like the Emerald Steel stuff at the minute has been like focused on the Relentless because that's like the fun new thing, right? But I would like to see I would like to see more of a discard focused deck. I
think a lot of people are moving to Amber Emerald for discard stuff, and they're just going super heavy on like Ursula and Bare Necessities and just hyper discard.
And the You've Forgotten Me and all that sort of stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Steel is keeping the aggro away. I think it is, but then the aggro has got starting to get the tools to answer it. Bare Necessities. Ursula, maybe I think there might be a lemon lime aggro deck there. Honestly, Amber Emeralds and a discard. That's interesting. I heard something about Ursula, Deceiver of All, having the wrong category on her. Like she's Dreamborn and she's meant to be Storyborn or something like that. Is it
one of those? I don't remember if she's Storyborn meant to be Dreamborn or vice versa, but that there is an errata for the first printings. I think she's printed wrong. And,
so I mean that's it. So the Enchanted one of her is going to be extra special, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, if that's printed incorrectly.
Yeah, that's interesting. So are we going to see some box opening videos from you guys? Midnight opening, perhaps? Yeah, me definitely. You'll see a box opening. Yeah,
I wish Scott, but I doubt it. You'll probably see one like Saturday, hopefully, but I'll probably only get my box on Friday, and then I'll have to open it then, because the place that I bought my box from, they usually don't get their stuff until like day of, and like last time the UPS truck didn't show up till like 4 p.m. with all the stuff, and I was like all day waiting because it was first come first serve.
Yeah, that sucks.
So as soon as I get one, I'm going home and I'm recording a box opening and throwing it on YouTube. So
I'll be doing the same. I'll have mine ready to go as soon as possible. There's stuff out there already, so
yeah, there's people streaming it on Whatnot and stuff.
Yeah, so I'll just be doing my box opening as soon as I get the box. The cards won't leave the store until Friday, but we open boxes for singles and stuff. So I'll film a couple of those and get them up as quick as I can. Yeah, it could be tomorrow. I don't know. There's it seems like one of the American distributors has got their stuff out super early this time, which is good. Again, it's another good thing. You know, the longer the time the stores have with the stuff, they can get it ready and stuff like. The first 2 sets we had to go and drive to get ours. We had to go and because he wouldn't have got here in the mail on time. Whereas this time it looks like it could have been today, but it's been a holiday, so it might be tomorrow. Jonti, did your store get a lot more box-wise this set? 2 stores near me got almost twice as much. We did. Our actual OP allocation was lower this time, but the distributor themselves have just been able to find us boxes from their sort of their allotment. So yeah, we are getting a few more boxes this time. But not as much on anything else, basically.
So I guess I'll just go ahead and ask while there's a bunch of people here. Would people be interested in a Friday evening live stream of a box opening? Because I thought about doing that instead. It's less. I don't have to edit anything, but I also figured there'd be a bunch of people out
doing their own
playing at their release events or whatever. So
yeah, I'd watch it if I wasn't.
That's exactly yeah, I know plenty of people would want to watch it, but I just think there's gonna be too many people doing their own thing for it to be worth it. But I did think do we want to go over the question that we got?
Yeah, of course.
From Scott Oliver.
Yeah, Scott sent us a message on Twitter or this might be something we look at bringing in each week, though, where we sort of encourage you to offer us questions. Check Discord. That's so difficult to do because I'm on Discord with this call. Oh, go on. Go ahead, Brandon, and read that thing out for us.
Scott messaged us on Twitter, and he said, really enjoying the two of you on the pod. Very good duo in the banter at times. If you all have time tonight, could you answer this? What do you each think makes you enjoy Lorcana the most, from art, competition, love of TCGs, the nostalgia, Disney? Thanks for the great pod. First of all, thank you guys for watching and being here. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't liked the stream, we're getting close to the end, but you should.
Yeah, do it now. We'll wait.
But it's honestly this is a very hard question for me to answer because all I can really give is what drew me initially. And since then, it's been all of that, all of the things that you listed. So last year in January, I saw the first time I ever encountered Lorcana was an IGN article that I saw about it. And I saw the Brave Little Tailor Mickey and it was that looks really awesome. What the heck is this? Trading card game Disney. I fell in love with the art immediately. I thought the cards looked really cool just in general. And I thought to myself, if any card game was going to do well based on IP, it was going to be a Disney one. And so I thought that this had, already had some really good stuff going for it. And then just kind of dove in head first without knowing anything else about the game. And since then, as we've learned how the game's played, as I've gotten to know more of the people that work on the game, so I've gotten to connect more with content creators around here and just get to know the community at large. It's been phenomenal. It's been awesome. And of course, there's all the nostalgia of watching Disney growing up. I watched all the golden era Disney movies as a kid, really kind of just after they had come out. So the only way that I know how to answer all, and maybe it's a cop out, is all of those things. I'm also super excited about the competition. I love following competitive stuff for the game. I think this game is very has a very high ceiling when it comes to the skill, and you really have to be the best player at the end of the day to consistently do well at high level tournaments, which is really good to see. I also think the game's entertaining to watch. So yeah, I mean, it's just all of those things.
Yeah, I completely agree. Honestly, I know it sounds like a bit of a cop out, but it is the perfect storm. Honestly, that it's just I love the art, I love the game, I love the IP. Like I've always said this. I'll yeah. This has always been a thing for me. Is that I had 2 videos on YouTube about this game before we'd seen a card.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was an ICV2 blog post, which is like an industry newsletter, and all it said was Disney TCG Ravensburger. Like, in a fewer words, it was like Lorcana is a thing. It's a Disney trading card game. It's being made by Ravensburger and make Villainous. That was it. That was the press release. And I had a video out that day. I was so in, like, straight away. And then we saw the cards and they looked amazing. And then we got gameplay and it actually played well. And it's just every single time more stuff comes out, it's just ticked every box for me. And I'm just adoring the community that's getting built. I have a blast playing it in real life. I have a blast chatting to all these guys online. After work, I have a blast making content for it and seeing all you folks in the comments. It's just ticking all the boxes for me. It really is simple as that. There's no one real thing that is keeping me around. I mean, I guess the thing that's keeping me in now is that the game is good and I enjoy playing it, honestly. But the thing that got me into it in the first place, it was just this perfect mix of Disney and a game style of game that I really enjoy, and just a real high level of polish even out the gate. Yes, they've had their issues, mostly regarding things like distribution and logistics, but I feel like even that they've got their feet on themselves really quickly and really great. So yeah, I just think it's going from strength to strength, honestly. Yeah. If it continues to do as well as it has, do you both see yourselves creating content and playing and collecting Lorcana? As in, does each set still have the magic factor, even though part of it is work? For me, it does. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm probably a little more excited about this set than I was set 2. Yeah, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, it's really difficult to quantify, and obviously there's rose-tinted specs a little bit as how you think about stuff, and also, this is the new hotness. But for me personally, I'm actually a little bit more excited about this set than I was the last one.
Yeah, I mean, like I was just thinking as you were talking, the game that I played before this is Pokemon, and I enjoyed Pokemon, had it while I was growing up too, but this is the only game that I genuinely feel like I want to collect. Like I get excited to see certain characters and have certain cards. And like if it weren't for this game, I'd probably be playing Pokemon. But I never felt about those cards the way that I felt about these. And like you mentioned, even though if part of it is for work, like this isn't for work for me. This is like it can be difficult at times to make myself, spend hours editing a video that might or might not get any views or anything like that. But I do this hobby because I enjoy it. I enjoy the people around it. I enjoy the game, and I like to hear myself talk, I guess, which is why I just keep doing the content stuff. So yeah, I don't see myself going anywhere.
Yeah, me too. Cool. I think we'll leave it there. We've managed to come under 2 hours, which is the first time in a while. That's how it goes, I suppose. We'll be back to our regular format. It feels like we end up doing spoiler season more than anything else.
I'm sure we'll get the set 4 name this week, and then we'll have
we start all over again. But yeah, we'll be back to our regular format where we look at the just what people are playing. I wonder if we've got any big tournaments coming up.
Big one in Georgia
straight away.
There's a big one in Georgia coming up towards the end of March, I think.
Okay, I wonder if there's anything like straight at the bat. Oh, hey, boop. I wonder if welcome back. I wonder if there's anything sort of straight out the gate using the new cards. Obviously, we'll have like launch week to talk about what we pulled, starter deck tournaments, that kind of thing. Are you playing in anything like that? Have you got anything booked in for that?
I'm going to a draft on Saturday.
Oh, draft!
That's the only other thing. I could go to another draft Friday night, but it's an hour away. It starts at 6:30, and my parents are coming in the next day, and then I'm doing the draft that next day, and I need to record the box opening video, edit it, and upload it before my parents get here, because then it's not going to happen till later. So I may not make that one, but we'll see. I'll definitely at least be going to the one on Saturday, because I enjoy doing draft. It's a way to get more cards. It's also at a store that I haven't been to in a little while, that I would consider like my second home store, basically, that I'm probably going to start going to a little bit more frequently, because the one that I've been going to locally has really been lacking in attendance, and I just don't think it's going to survive, unfortunately, for a Lorcana scene.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, and this other one's the next closest one, the next best thing. I've already got a bunch of friends over there, and they have a pretty good community going. So I'll be going over there on Saturday for draft, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll be mostly running stuff all weekend. I might see if I can get a draft going on the Saturday morning. That'd be good. We have a Friday night starter deck tournament that is sold out. We have a Saturday daytime tournament that is nearly sold out, and then we are doing our kids only one again on the Sunday. We haven't had as much of a pull for that one this time, unfortunately. But I think we've got 4 kids signed up for it at the minute, so we'll still run it so they can get some games in. Sure. So I don't know what we can do there, maybe to try and push that. Something that we're going to be looking at internally, but otherwise I'm just excited to get my hands on some cards now. I'm ready to dive in. Yeah.
The little bit that I've seen from the live streams and stuff, like, it looks good. The product packaging and all that, it looks fun. It looks cool. Yeah, did we want to talk at all about the puzzle stuff? Do you know about all that?
Yeah, I don't care. I'll happily talk about it, but that's my stance. I don't care. Like, I threw them all away anyway.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, you got like a wad of them? Why?
They're great for me to quantify how many booster packs I've opened.
Oh, why would you want to know that? That's a depressing thing to look back at. It's not the sort of information I want to know.
I don't know.
So the new packs don't have one in. Basically, they instead have like a little quick start guide regarding locations, right? Yeah, that's fine. It's probably more useful. I'd rather just nothing there. Like, that's just a waste of cardboard, I feel.
I wish they did the puzzles, and I wish it was Pluto this time around.
Yeah. Oh well.
But it's not the
Never mind. on that low note, we'll finish. Brandon, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at B224 on YouTube. You can also find me at B224 capital YT on Twitter and on Instagram. I've got videos coming up about set 3, hopefully before it actually releases, if not slightly after, and probably some product opening stuff for release.
And you can go back and watch the playback of the live stream from the other day. I ran a tournament at my store, and Brandon and Franz from Traverse Savin commentated it all day. It was a 6-hour stream with 5 rounds of Swiss. Mostly Ruby Amethyst, but there was some other stuff in there as well. But there's some really good fun games. It was a good... I feel like a good example of what just a regular local meta looks like. And we had a lot of fun. It was great fun. I'm very much looking forward to doing it again. We're going to be tweaking those. We'll be trying to increase production values every single time, both on the store's end and on Brandon's end. And hopefully we can find some other stores to do it, because I'd love to be in the talking chair as well. It's very difficult to do when you're there. You kind of just need somebody to hover and make sure it's all logistically going well. But it's definitely something we're both very interested in. I know Franz is as well. So it's definitely something we're going to, as we move forward, just try and do more and more. So definitely go and check that out. The commentary carried the Ruby Amethyst matches. Yeah, there's only so much you can say about turn 1 mini, turn 1 mini, opponent turn 1 Olaf. All right, cool. But yeah, it was lots of good fun. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Again, drop a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel, and make sure you head over to Brandon and subscribe there as well. We love you all to bits. Until next week in Ink.
That was This Week in Ink.
Bye, folks.
Bye.